All right, we are live, and Jay is hydrated. Awesome.
A good thing to be.
Exactly. Yeah, I got my glass of water right over here. It's ready for me. I get thirsty when I do a lot of these. I don't know, just talking a lot and stuff like that. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I've got the awesome Jay Pepitone here with me today to talk a little bit about his journey with iCoinPro and his journey to mastering crypto day trading with the micro profit system. So as you come on, say hello, drop a comment, drop a heart, drop a thumbs up, drop a whatever emoji you want to do. Joven's here. Welcome, Joven. You can also, if you have friends that you want to watch this interview, go ahead and tag them in this video so that they can actually, Facebook will notify them that they can come and watch this. So make sure that you do that. And then also for anybody who's in iCoinPro that wants to actually share this video, feel free to do that. And you can share this video on your timeline and just tell people to get back with you to get the free training account. And for speaking of that, for anybody who's brand new, who's watching this interview, if you get excited by what you hear here, if you get excited about Jay's journey and all these amazing stories that we're bringing forth of people who are learning this life skill and mastering it, and they now have a way they can generate income on demand from home, the comfort of their home. So, it's an awesome thing to have. It's an awesome skill to have. It's an awesome community to join in iCoinPro. We couldn't be prouder of our members and all the people that are in here that are part of this. So, if you want to learn more about this, somebody may have shared this video with you. Just get back with that person. They'll be more than happy to actually give you a link to get a free training account. You can completely, you can start this whole journey for free. You can find out what it's about. You can learn about it, and you can get rolling and peek behind the curtain before you take your next step. But honestly, this is so worth doing. Like I say, time and time again, don't treat this like some biz op or some deal or some online thing, right? This is a potential career path. If you make the decision to learn this system, if you put one foot in front of the other and just keep walking along this path, just like Jay's done, just like Lily, Lee, Jovan, Julius, all the different people, Zach that we've interviewed here, and tons more. There's more and more people we're going to be interviewing here. You just hang around the community, hang around the water cooler, as I like to say, and you'll pick it up and you'll learn the skills. So, but anyway, Jay, I'm so happy that you're here today. This is awesome. This is kind of fun for me because, we've known each other for a while, before iCoinPro, that's for sure.
Definitely.
I don't even know how long. And what's kind of cool, and I'll just share a little bit about this, and then I'll let you talk a little bit about your professional background. But Jay was a good friend of my father's. They hung out. They did numerous different business endeavors together. And so, it's kind of cool to have Jay here in iCoinPro now because he saw what I was developing and he followed it. And he, started to get more and more interested as he saw the results. And now he's one of the trainers. He's active in the community. He's a day trader with the system. This is what he does. So, it's awesome to have you here, Jay, and it's great. But you're kind of an extended part of my family, and definitely an extended part of the iCoinPro family. So anyway, we'll just call you Uncle Jay. That'll work. Anyway, but with all that said, Jay, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you, I know you found out iCoinPro through me, but how you kind of started taking your first steps into iCoinPro.
Okay, and thanks for having me. And I'll give you a little of my background before I even get started. I live in beautiful Southwest Florida. I've been self-employed most of my adult life. I have a gaming background. I have a construction background. I dealt high-end blackjack and baccarat in the casinos. I was a floor supervisor. I worked surveillance on the cruise ships out of Fort Lauderdale. I've owned a construction company. I was partners in a taxi business. I've owned race horses. I had an inspection business. As you said, I did various things with your dad and other businesses. But I'm not a Wall Street guy. I didn't know anything about trading. Absolutely nothing. But I heard all about this crypto stuff, and I wanted to take a look at it. And, before I got started, and I always joke, because people say, I don't know anything about trading, and I joked that I didn't know the difference between a blockchain and a block of ice. The only thing I knew about candles were Yankee candles. You light them with a match and they smelled good. So, from knowing you and speaking with your dad, and I knew you were developing something, and I wanted to take a look at it. And I almost blew this opportunity. I almost blew it 2 times because initially I looked at it and I was overwhelmed, not because of the system, but because of me. I didn't believe in myself that I could do this. And that's what I was joking about the candles. Because it's learning a whole nother language, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's that simple. Just take a look. Because there's things that they're explained different, and you don't know what they're talking about until you go through the system. But I almost missed it twice because it overwhelmed me, and it wasn't my focus at the time. So I put it on the back burner, and I pretty much got in right in the beginning. I don't want to say I got in the beginning. I signed up in the beginning. Let's put it that way, okay? I didn't get in the beginning. And I looked at it, and then I got that phone call from a well-meaning person. Hey, Jay, what do you know about cryptocurrency? And I'm like, I really don't know much. I signed up with Justin here in iCoinPro, and I'm trying to learn how to trade, but I'm a little, that's okay. You don't have to learn how to trade. Here's what we're doing. And one of those scams. Oh. And what did I do? I said, okay, hey, I don't have to learn how to trade. They're going to trade for me. They're going to teach me how to make money. And they did. They taught me how to make my money, their money. I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money. Money I can always make, time I can't make up. So I almost blew it. But I decided, after I lost that money and a couple different things happened, I decided, well, you know what? I'm going to take a look at this because I've known Justin for a long time. I know he's honest. I know he's transparent. I know he's a super successful guy, and he's going to do the right thing. And that was key to me, doing the right thing. So that's basically how I got started and got involved.
It's funny. We're almost like a recovery program for people who got into all those scams. You know what I'm saying? And it's great because I think when iCoinPro launched, I think a lot of people thought we were the next scam. I don't know what they thought we were going to be. And honestly, we were in a discovery process a bit about the company. We wanted to get into trading. We wanted to get into education. But if you would have told me day one back in May of 2017 that we would be what we are now, I would have never believed you. I mean, this has been such an incredible journey, and the way it's unfolded and the technology. I like this. Jovan says Ponzi Victims Anonymous, PVA. Yeah, anyway, it's I wouldn't even have believed where we've been able to come, and the community and the full-time members and the people who do this for a living now. That has been one of the greatest blessings for me, is the lives we've been able to impact and change and improve through what we're able to do. So now, really quick, before you got into iCoinPro, did you know anything about Bitcoin when you got started?
I really didn't. I didn't know anything about trading. I didn't know anything about cryptocurrencies. I heard Bitcoin, that was the big Bitcoin. And that was like the only thing I knew, is that some people were making money on it, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it did. I didn't know how you use it. And I knew nothing about trading it.
Okay. Yeah. And so, and you mentioned too, you're not a Wall Street guy. You're definitely an entrepreneur. I mean, you have been an entrepreneur for your whole life and own multiple businesses. And then of course, you said gaming in the beginning. It's funny, Jay, when you say gaming these days, people think Fortnite, but right. you mean, gaming in a casino, gambling basically, and having dealt and understanding how, odds work and systems for gambling, to maintain your profitability and stuff. I think you brought a really interesting perspective. And even from some of our early conversations about it, you always kind of brought a parallel to the gaming industry, how to gamble successfully or professionally, to day trading crypto. Even from our first conversations, you always kind of compared it to that.
Yeah, and there is a lot of comparison, and I've been on both sides of the table. I like I said, I was a dealer, but I was a player. I've played high-end blackjack, baccarat, high-stakes poker, and I was on top of the table. I worked surveillance, so I saw the game from a different view. And I've seen it from every angle. What always amazed me was, in working inside the casino, I'd watch people come in every day, and they were willing to risk hundreds, if not thousands of dollars playing a game they didn't know anything about. But more importantly, they didn't understand the odds, and the odds were stacked against them. And so they're playing a game that, yeah, you can get lucky and win. But what I found out about iCoinPro was it puts the odds in your favor. Because it shows you, I don't want to say game, but I'm going to say game. It shows you the right game to play at the right time. It shows you when to get into a trade. It puts you in a proper position to make a successful trade. But I think more importantly, and one of the lessons I learned a long time ago, was it also puts you in a position to not take the wrong, and if I said that right, to not take the wrong trade. It shows you when a trade is not setting up right that I need to stay away from that. And as far as I'm concerned, sometimes saving money is just as important as making money.
Oh, absolutely.
People don't understand that. It's not making that, when we always say it, and that was one of the only free lessons, growing up, it was learning how to play poker. Lessons were expensive because you sat at the table and you paid your dues right there. And that's how you learned. There wasn't this online training, and there wasn't, all these books, and, there were books, but you had to learn by paying your dues. And the only lesson I got for free was an old timer one time pulled me aside and said, "Hey kid, that bet you made on the river, that bet you made on 7th Street, there was no reason to make that. If you saved that, and back in then, if you made $100 a night playing poker, you made a lot of money. If those 3 bets you made, if you didn't make them, that's your winning. That's the difference."
Yeah.
But not making that wrong move a lot of times is your day's profit.
Absolutely. Yeah. And not losing money is making money in trading sometimes, and that's kind of a way to say it. And then there are the days when it just gives and gives and gives. Jay, we are live right now, and I got a 15-year-old kid who's at my door ringing the doorbell, wanting to come into the house. He just came back from his friend's house. So give me 1 second here, and you're going to see my Florida outfit. Hold on 1 second.
Day traders in shorts. Well, you see that we're live, so. But there is a lot of correlation between casino games and trading, that's for sure.
For sure. And, I was actually talking with, and this is the fun of doing live stuff. I was talking with Martin Berenger the other day, and we were. He's really learning the system. He really wants to do this full time. He's having a change in his personal career. So one of the things that he said, and he was really impressed with as he was going through our system, was how risk management was built into the system. From how we find the trades to how we enter the trades, all of the the different. The way that we approach everything, it helps protect you from those moments when the market does do something a little bit more severe or unpredictable. And we actually kind of like that when that happens. With our system, sometimes when it dips harder or plunges hard, I make a lot more money because of the way our system's set up than if it was just a little beep, boop, you know what I'm saying? Just a little one and back up in price fluctuation.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the nice thing about it is that you're teaching people how to get their better odds on the trade, but you're teaching them that how to take less of a risk. When you're gambling, when you're playing baccarat, you make your bet and you have no control, none whatsoever. The cards run the game. Same as in blackjack, you might decide whether to hit or not, or poker. I could do everything right in a poker hand, and guess what? The turn and a river are just nightmare cards, and I lose all my money. And when I put my money on a table, it's win or lose.
Yeah.
oh, you know what? Give me, let me. I only want to lose 10%, or 0.3%. No. It doesn't happen. You made your bet, and you lost it. So that's the big difference here, is that you can set your odds. You can set the number that you want to get in and out and get in and out of a trade at.
Yeah,
and that's a big advantage. And if you follow the system right, you're not going to be in that position where, wow, I put $1,000 into a trade this morning and I lost it. If you do lose $1,000 on the trade, either the world just ended, or you just did something that was
not part of the system.
Your own system, because I've lost money on trades, but it was my fault when I analyzed it, and either I got greedy and I tried to push it and then the market turned, or I go back and I analyze what I did and I go, wow, dude, what were you looking at? And I don't blame anybody. It's all on me. And I trade with money that I can afford to lose, not that I expect to lose it. When I walk into a casino, that money in my pocket that I brought to gamble, I already counted that as a loss because I knew the casinos had the major advantage. And I do that, and I look at trading the same way. So I don't panic trade, because it's the worst thing you could ever do. Yep. You want to go in with money that you can, and I always say you need to pull the trigger on that trade. If the trade is there, pull the trigger. Don't be fearful.
Yep, absolutely. We're getting some great comments here about me getting up and having shorts on with no shoes. I do live in Florida. Okay,
yeah.
So it's hot out here, but I like this one. Zach says I would have walked off in my boxers and forgotten about it. Okay. Anyway. By the way, we got some great comments in here. If anybody has any questions for Jay, please start dropping them in the comments. We'll go through the comments at the end and allow Jay to go ahead and answer, answer the questions at the end of this after we go through our interview here. So make sure you're dropping them in there if you got some questions for Jay. All right. Now, question for you, Jay. How long did it take you to feel like you had kind of mastered the micro profit system, or really started to get it down?
Once I seriously decided to take a look at it, I would say within a month, I understood what I was doing. Between a month and 3 months, that I was really comfortable in trading. I probably was in that. And, I can tell you my journey, how I started in a couple things. I've really just recently restarted training as of April. In January, I had open heart surgery. So I didn't look at a chart for over 2 months. And it really was like it was like I started all over again. So I didn't make a trade until April 1st was when I really restarted trading. But when I seriously took a look at it and decided I was going to do this, I would say a month I understood it. Within 3 months, I felt comfortable, really just jumping in and doing it all. And it depends on how fast you learn, because everybody learns different, but the system teaches you whatever way you want, and it lets you learn at your own pace.
Yes.
You can run those modules over and over and over. And if you're a person that likes to read, it's there printed out. You can just sit down and read it. You can watch the video. You can listen to it. So there's something for everybody, that however way they want to learn it.
Yeah. And what's great too is with the community, and you're such an active member of our community, which is fantastic, but there's just tons of support, questions, anything like that. The community is there to really help you. It's a school. It's an online school. That's the best way I can put it. We have a lot of teachers. We have a lot of fun. We have, education that's always ongoing. Gosh, our schedule right now for the Q&As is just fantastic. And our live interactive Zooms is just fantastic right now. It's, again, when you come into this, it's not like, another thing that's kind of interesting is, you're not studying regurgitated material from someplace else. Like a lot of these training courses, Jay, I don't know if you've ever looked at one, but it's stuff you can kind of find someplace else, or things that, just are kind of regurgitated. We're really unique. I don't know of anybody else who trades like we trade, and the way that we approach things, and with our software and everything like that. So when a person comes in, it's just, I don't know, it's laid out so that they're set up to win from the community, the training, the support. how they can approach it, everything like that. I really want to encourage people to, take their first step. And speaking of that really quick, if somebody did share this video with you and you're getting interested from hearing what Jay has to say, I want you to, go ahead and get back with that person. And, they'll give you a link. You can get a free training account. If you know nothing about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, like Jay was saying, he was new. I mean, this was a new thing to him. And now here he is professionally trading with the system, day trading with the system, successfully. And in fact, Jay, I think you're doing about 13 to 30% on your balance per month right now is kind of where you're averaging with your trading.
Yeah. And it's simple to do. And I guess, Coinbase Pro sort of forced me into that because we're forced to deal with Coinbase Pro, but I wanted to build my volume up to a certain level so I could trade at a less percentage, less fees.
Yeah.
So I joke around and I say Coinbase Pro really does make you a better trader because you're gonna want to eliminate those fees, so you're gonna want to trade more, and you're gonna really learn your numbers in using Coinbase Pro.
That's for sure. Now, what was your best trading day so far?
Okay, well, there's two that stand out, and I'm going to give you a percentage, and I'm going to give you a dollar figure, two separate trades. Mm-hmm. The best percentage I ever had on a trade was 20%.
Oh, wow.
And probably was more of an accident than anything, but but that was my best percentage on a trade. The most standout trade, and when I tell you this dollar figure, you're going to go, oh my God, and you're going to laugh. Now, I've bet hundreds, thousands, won and lost on the flip of a card, thousands of dollars. But the most impressive trade I ever made on iCoinPro was for $1. And you're going to laugh, and people are going, what do you mean? Well, I was as excited making that dollar on iCoinPro as I was making a $10,000 bet on a baccarat table. And the reason was because it made me realize I can be in control here. I can control my action. But the system taught me, and from going through the system and the training, that this works. And I can do this consistently and make money just following the system.
Yep.
Not trying to change it, not doing anything else, but I can walk up, watch a trade and say, okay, it's setting up perfect. And I can decide how much money I want to put in, how much I want to make on this trade. If something turns a little south, I can reduce that just to get out of the trade, or maybe make a little less money, but I'm not getting hammered for that full amount that I put into that trade.
Yeah.
So, you laugh when you say $1, but you listen to Lee and you listen to Lily in the beginning, and they were making 10, 15 cents a nickel a trade. When I made that trade, and I was probably in for more than I needed to be coming out of the gate, but that dollar just made me realize I can do this, and it really, really does work.
And now you are, and it's kind of cool because I don't think anybody forgets their first profitable trade with the micro profit system. You know what I'm saying? That first time, it really does change your world, and it gives you the idea that, wow, there are things you can actually do from home to make money online, and you don't have to talk to a million people or recruit people. You can sit down at your computer, learn the system, plug into the community, and then trade and make potentially a full-time living. We have plenty of people that are actually doing that with this system now, which is really, really exciting.
And that's one thing that, I said that to you in the beginning when I got started. I wasn't looking to market this, and we can talk about that later. But I wanted to know that there was something that I could come into and make money without having to market it, that you could make it on your own. Now, the marketing is a big, big part of it, and, we can discuss that. But it was important to me that I knew I could just come in and totally on my own make money without having to depend on anyone else.
That's awesome. Awesome. Now, how has the MPS changed your life now? How's it different since now that you're trading successfully, professionally with the system?
Well, I've made a lot of money in my life. I've lost a lot of money in my life. But But the most important thing to me is time. And I'm a selfish person. There's no other way to put it. And my time off is super important to me. I had a great inspection business at the height of the, in 2008, 2009, when everything started dropping. I had a super successful business that allowed me to make a nice amount of money, but it also allowed me to work when I wanted and take off as much time as I wanted. And that was super important. I like to go, I like to do things. So what trading allows me to do is it doesn't really tie me to a desk. And the next thing I have to learn is how to trade on my phone.
Yeah.
But it allows me to, get up in the morning, look at the charts, listen to the MMA, which is something I do every day.
Morning market analysis.
And decide, you know what? I'm not going to jump into some trades this morning. I'm going to go do some stuff. I'm going to go to the pool. I'm going to do this, that, or the other thing. So it's really allowed me the time freedom as much as making money with it.
Yeah. And it's funny when you say trade on your phone, you remember Julius, who I was interviewing, when he got that down, his results went like out through the roof. And I trade on my phone a lot. I actually traded this morning, 2 times on my phone already today. It's like you get that down and it's cool. And that's for like people who are part-time and stuff like that. You have the luxury where you can stay at home, trade, you can go out, you can do whatever. But people who are, have jobs or whatever, they can execute those trades right on their phone, as long as they don't get in trouble. But I know plenty of you do it. So I'm not going to tell anybody. Anyway, now when new people join iCoinPro, what can they expect, Jay?
Well, they can expect a lot of different things. And, I think there's 4 key things that stand out to me that I've never seen anywhere else in any other business like this. Number one, and I know you guys will never say it, but it's the hands-on ownership. It's that Paul D'Souza and you, Justin Clark, are hands-on owners, and you're here. Just what you're doing today is something you don't see in this industry. You're part of the business every day. Every morning I wake up, and if the first thing I look at is the morning market analysis that you put personally on every day, that you go through and to give people a warning, to give them an indication of where the market is at. And you do the live Zooms and you do the training. And Paul, he's in there and he's up. We're doing a Zoom and he's in South Africa and it's 2:00 in the morning and he's on there, giving his information, giving his feedback, and he's in the forum and he's in the chat. So you don't see ownership like that. It just doesn't happen.
Well, Paul and I, we love our community. I mean, we love working with you guys. There's so many great people, and it's just, honestly, it's a joy for us. It's a lot of fun. I mean, and the cool thing is Paul and I live, sleep, eat, and breathe this stuff. I mean, I don't think a lot of, gosh, I don't want to talk negatively, but there are a lot of training programs out there where the people who are training you don't do it, or that are selling you the course, they don't do it. They haven't executed a trade. I remember one time some dude was hitting my 15-year-old son up to join some trading program. And he's like, and I told him, I said, well, have him send you some results. And he sent him results. They were from 2016. It's 2020, bro. You can't be showing results from 2016. My son, who's 15, he's a smart kid, but he immediately looks and writes back to this guy. He's like, what, dude, you got to send me something that's current, man. What are you doing? Anyway.
But that was my point on that. But like I said, there's 4 things. But the fact that you guys are hands-on traders was important to me, because it's not like somebody giving you theory and it's like, okay, it always reminds me of that Rodney Dangerfield, Back to School or whatever, where they're teaching a class and he explains, okay, that's great in theory, but what about in real life? But the other thing that people need to understand is the consistency of your guys' message. It doesn't change. It's the foundation of this company. And I think that's why this company is going to last for a long time. Because what do you teach? You teach the micro profit system.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. And there's 2 trades: buy the squeeze and buy the dip.
Yep.
And that message doesn't change. And that's what it is. Now, and that's your foundation. I look at it as that's the foundation to build your house on. The next thing is the tools, and that's built on your foundation. The trade finder. You have unbelievable tools. The trade finder, and inside the trade finder is the buddy coin crawler. And I know when I'm talking to people that don't know what I'm talking about, but you'll learn it and you'll say, I can't trade without using these tools. The ladder buying calculator. If you said tomorrow,
gold.
if you said to me tomorrow, we're closing the micro profit system, but there's one tool that you could buy that will sell you for, the cost of the system, it would be the ladder buying calculator. I wouldn't think twice. That's what I could find out how to trade. Not that it would be easy, but the tools are they're just fantastic.
Yeah.
Because they save you time, they save you money, they save you from looking around and searching for trades. And once again, as I always say, they teach you your numbers. And you're going to learn that knowing your numbers might be one of the most important things in trading. But the fourth thing that might, and these are all parts of a puzzle that not one is more important than the other, but this might be more important than the other. It's the glue that holds the company together, is the community.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't compare. I've been in situations in other businesses, and if I'm not making you money, you don't even want to talk to me. I talk to Lee and Lily on a daily basis. I'm not part of their business. I don't make them money. We discuss trades. We help other people. The other day I was on the phone with a gentleman who sent me a message. We spent an hour on the phone. I don't know him from Adam, but I don't want him to be put in a bad situation. So the community, the forum, the chat, it just teaches you how to grow, teaches you how to, there's just a bunch of people out there. Zach, Monica, my trading buddy, we talk every day. And if you understand how important a trading buddy is, because maybe you don't feel like trading that day, or maybe you missed something, or maybe I go, hey, Justin, check this out. And you go, dude, what are you looking at? Did you look are you looking at the 1 hour MACD, whatever?
Yeah.
So it's that community, your trading buddies, the people that are there, they open your eyes to a lot of different things.
Yeah, it is awesome. And it keeps you going. It keeps you motivated, and it keeps you learning. That's the thing. I mean, everybody's bringing something to the table. And I think that's, anyway, I think that's a critical part. I mean, I've done, talk numerous times on the 4 pillars of a successful trading system for profiting from any market. And it's strategy, technology, community, and longevity. Community is probably one of the most important things. So Jay, all right, Bitcoin was something pretty new to you when you got started. No trading background. You hadn't traded before, and you came in and now here you are consistently profiting, moving your balance forward every single month. Do you think that anybody can learn the micro profit system?
The bottom line is, if I can learn it, anybody can learn it, really, because it's that simple. You just got to study it, and you just need to study it, and then you need to do it. You need to go out and paper trade, which I know it confuses a lot of people. It's just watching the trades and writing it down on paper, using the system, and instead of putting your money up, you're just writing down that trade, following that trade, using buddy coin crawler, or using the tools to figure out the numbers and make that trade. And then you have to pull the trigger. You just have to, you can't. I always joke about the paralysis by analysis, or analysis by whatever the proper term is.
Paralysis of analysis.
You got to make a decision and take a number that's comfortable for you, a dollar figure, and go out and make that trade. And I always say this, and I think this is important. And everybody's broke at a different level. That old joke. But what $100 to one person doesn't mean anything. and you know, and 10,000 to somebody does, you know, there's people that have a ton of money and they're willing to make that trade. Not that I would suggest to do that, but what I do suggest is this: never take a trade for $1 that you wouldn't take for $1,000 or $10,000. That if you had to make this trade a significant amount of money, that you would be scared to take it, because it gets you in a bad habit. It gets you like, oh, I won that trade for $1. Oh, let me make that trade for 100. Well, maybe you got lucky. Maybe you did something wrong, you know, or I'm goofing around. Oh, I'm going to take this. I'm not really good at squeeze trades, but I'm going to take this squeeze trade for $20. And, oh, I hit it. So, you know what? Let me take it for $500. I got the last one. I got it right. And guess what? I got it wrong because I just got lucky on that trade.
You got to follow the system, you know. You know, we've got some great questions coming in here. I'm going to really quick give everybody, if there's any other questions you want to ask Jay, throw them in here. Jay, I'm going to do a disclaimer really quick because we have talked about results and your awesome trading results and everything. So let me do this disclaimer here. Okay, here's the trading results disclaimer. iCoinPro, the iCoinPro Trade Finder, and its trainers provide an informational service only and are not responsible for any investments made applying this information. The results described are not typical and are not guarantees of future income. Any investment contains risk and is 100% the responsibility of the investor to assess the risk rewards involved. Sorry, that just got covered up. It is possible to lose some or all of your investment. We assume no liability assumed or implied for your application of the information shared from the training programs. That was funny. I was reading that and then my email popped up. I have no idea.
Don't you know it by heart anyway?
I practically do. I just want to make sure I get it right.
I understand, but I know like Lily was doing it one day. She goes, I don't know why I'm reading this. I can verbatim.
You know, but it's important. You know, we want to make sure people understand there is risk, but like we've covered here, we build in the risk management to our system, okay? From the way that we enter trades to ladder buying, one of our amazing strategies like Jay was talking about, everything that we do is all about, you know, making sure that you minimize your risk and maximize your profitability. So, all right, Jay, we got a bunch of things here. I want to just go through, gosh, there's like so many comments. It's like crazy. Let me see. And thank you everybody for coming out. Drop a heart, drop a like, drop a whatever on this video if you're enjoying it, and appreciate Jay coming out here to share with everybody this morning. So let's go through these here. I know I saw a question. Let's see here. A lot of people saying that they got caught up in some of those goofy Ponzi scheme programs too. So you're not alone.
The shiny and I think there's a new one going around, isn't there?
Oh, there is. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, I know.
I think this is great. Benita said iCoinPro definitely has a recovery program for trading mining losses. That's for sure. We've had quite a few people who've come in that lost some Bitcoin or lost some of their money in some of these crazy online schemes, and they learned this skill and they were able to go ahead and start replacing some of that money. All right. Let's see.
And you said a key thing there, Justin, that you learned a skill. You know, my dad taught me a long time ago. He said, learn a trade. He said, you know, because if you learn a trade, it might not be the main thing you want to do in your life, but people can never take it away from you, and you can always revert back to it. And I feel that, you know, learning the iCoinPro system is learning a trade. It's learning a skill. Yep, absolutely.
Lee, one of the best things about being a trader is there's no dress code. That's very true. When you do, in fact, in Florida, if you've ever, one of our traders woke it up in the morning and saw a trade and traded right in bed when you woke up, you could drop a comment, because I know I've done that. You know, you see the setup and you're just like, boom, I'm in. Anyway. Okay. I think, let's see here. Oh, this is awesome. We have Gregory Granberry on here, who's Jovan's father, who we interviewed Jovan the other day, and he's joining, he's learning, and he's been an entrepreneur all his life, much like you, Jay. Cool. That's awesome. Welcome, Gregory. Welcome to the iCoinPro family.
Good move. And he's got a good person to learn from also.
Oh, yes, absolutely. All right, here's a character we all know and love here in iCoinPro. Mr. Paul D'Souza, our CEO. He wants to know, how important is it to follow the system to the T and not deviate?
It's 100% important. I mean, the system is set up to protect you. It's set up to teach you how to make the proper trades. Excuse me. So it's the minute you deviate from the system, then you can't blame it on the system if the trade goes wrong. It's set up for your benefit.
Yep, absolutely. This is kind of cool. Lee was commenting on your trade where you made $1 and it was your breakthrough moment where you realized, wow, I can actually do this. And she says her first trade, 10 cents, is printed and framed on her wall, and it keeps her humble. That's awesome, Lee. Thank you for sharing that. That's kind of cool.
And Lee is one of the, just the outstanding, not just traders, but trainers, and a big part of the reason that I'm still here, Lee and Lily. If it wasn't for them too, I don't know if I'd still be trading, to be honest with you.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. I'm looking through some of these comments. We got a bunch of them. This is kind of cool, David. Love that you can have a new career, starting spare time, learn a real skill, and make money without recruiting, marketing, advertising, or selling. It's just me and my computer or smartphone. That's awesome, David. Okay, looking for more questions here. We got so many comments, it's a little hard. Okay, question for Jay. All right, what would your advice be for someone who is just starting out with the MPS and feeling overwhelmed?
Don't feel overwhelmed. I was just, basically get over it. Just go through the system. Maybe find, join in the Zooms. I would say attend as many Zooms as you possibly can. Just go through the system. If you have questions, put them in the forum, not in the chat, but put them in the forum. Someone will definitely answer them. Try to find a trading buddy or someone that you can communicate with. But attend the Zooms. Lee and Lily are running those Zooms constantly. Big and Jay and Dennis run Zooms. I attend Lee's and Lily's basic Zooms every time I can.
Wow.
Just to reiterate, and it's a learning process, but for me, it's always, and I think for everyone, it always should be, continuing education. I never stop. I pick a module, and maybe once a week, I'll go through I'll go through buy the dip. I'll go through resistance levels. I'll go through ladder buying. RSI. I just always, because if you don't use certain things, sometimes you forget about it, or you just keep doing it, and then you're like, you know what? I'm skipping a step here.
Yeah.
So if you're just having problems, just it'll click. Because I remember watching the first couple modules, I'm like, I don't understand it. I joked with you one day, Justin, you did the MMA, and I said, if it wasn't for learning the system, what I just read would have been, I might as well be reading a foreign language. Once you understand, when you're saying, oh, the MACD is crossing in the bad way, and the 1 hour RS, it's all gobbledygook until you learn it.
Yeah. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, but at a certain point, the light will go off.
Yep.
It's just like being in high school. You're like, I don't understand this. I don't understand. Oh, I got it now.
Yep.
And just till it gets in your head. Everybody learns different.
I think everything is simple. There's just a bunch of simple things to learn. And so it just takes time. Each person will take their own time. Some people will immediately get it. Some people, it'll take going over it a couple times before it sinks in. But again, it's something that anybody can do. And what I would say, Lee, is to lean on the community. Exactly what Jay said. Get a trading buddy. Get on the Zooms. Get with your sponsor, the person who introduced you. We're really big on creating a culture of caring for each other and for the members. I think that's something that we really want to emphasize, particularly here in 2020, as we move forward, because the company is rapidly expanding. But we want to ensure that we take good care of people, and make sure that they learn the system and they learn how to trade, because we know once you learn, you're a lifelong customer of iCoinPro. You're not going anywhere. It'd be like, who's going to cut their income streams off? Nobody's going to do that, right? So, we really want to make sure that people understand it and help each other and take the time to, help each other learn the system. All right, another question.
One thing, Justin, can I add to that is, don't come out and try to learn the whole system.
Yep.
I dip trade. I would, and depending if you're coming out and you have to trade Coinbase Pro, and I always go back to that, learn the dip first. Don't worry about the squeeze coming right out of the gate. Learn how to dip trade. Don't try to learn every single part of it, because it will overwhelm you. I don't care even if you have a background. So pick one or two spots, learn that, and then just add on as you go.
Yep. And it's all laid out so you can kind of piecemeal it. It's like, the old saying, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. Okay. Right. Here's another question. And I might have to answer this because I don't think you were trading as much in 2017, 2018 as you are obviously in 2020. This has been your year where you've kind of really buckled down. I can answer this. Clifford, 2017 was what they call a bull run. So that means everything just went up. Everybody was a genius. 2018 was a bear market, which means that everything just went down, and all the geniuses from 2017 were no longer geniuses anymore. So what was kind of cool is with the micro profit system, we performed equally as well in 2017 and 2018. Our system continued to work. Our traders had great years in 2018, and we learned a lot in 2018, which has benefited us now. So we're prepared. This system has been tested in the most extreme market conditions you could imagine. It has been proven in. Okay, let's see here. All right, another question from Lee. What is your most favorite strategy, the MPS to trade? They're all bomb, but do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I love the dip trade and ladder buying. And I don't use ladder buying I use it to save me in trades, but I go into a trade looking to ladder buy. And I know you do in a lot of cases, because you're starting with a small balance, and it's not a panic situation. If you've entered the trade right, if you follow the system, but we know there's fluctuations in that trade. It doesn't happen where I bought into this trade, it was the third dip, and it goes straight up. It might drop 1% or 0.5%.
Yep.
So I'm coming in with, I'm not coming in with all my money in a trade, which is important to learn. So I'm coming in with a percentage, but I'm looking for that dip a little bit, because it does two things. It allows me to get more money into my trade, and it also allows me to get out at a less percentage. So, it's definitely, and I would recommend, and that's just my personal preference, learning the dip and learning ladder buying.
Awesome. All right. Another question here from Zach, and I think we've covered this pretty thoroughly here, but he says, do you feel like day trading is something anyone can pick up on regardless of experience? What if someone has never heard of Bitcoin? Could they be successful?
Yeah, we did answer it. We went over it. I'm a prime example. I scared myself in the beginning. I didn't think I could do this, and that was just on me. But I believe if anybody puts their mind to it, they can learn how to trade. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about Bitcoin. I didn't know anything about cryptocurrency. And now I know how to follow the system, how to watch the trends and the patterns, how to successfully trade. And it comes just from following the system, sticking with the community, attending Zooms, having a great trading partner or a trading buddy. And I honestly believe if you're serious about it, then you can learn it.
Awesome. Clifford here, this is a good question. He says, I'm technologically challenged. Would you be willing to create a training module about setting up a phone trading account on TabTrader? Clifford, put that into the forum, and I can guarantee somebody will go in there and comment or help you out. There is a bit about TabTrader in the Buy the Squeeze module. There's a breakdown of how to set alerts on there, because we use that app a lot. But yeah, put that in the forum, and you can also bring it up on the Zoom and we can definitely talk about that for sure. But I think in the forum, you're going to get something where people are going to give you some answers and stuff like that and help you out with what your specific question is or issue is that you're having with trading, or trading on your phone. When you're trading on your phone, though, I'm not using TabTrader to trade. I'm actually trading through my browser right on Coinbase Pro is what I'm doing. So I'm trading right there on my browser. TabTrader just gives me my charts and it gives me my alerts so I can know what's happening. Okay, last question here. This is Jovan. He has a question. He says, Jay, how long did it take you to compound your account to a significant amount?
A couple months. I mean, I said in the beginning, I restarted trading in April. So I've only been basically, and when you're trading Coinbase Pro, you have to reach a certain volume, or you're paying 1% when you start. So my balance, because I didn't trade for a couple months because of my operation, my volume went down to 0. And I don't know if I can say this or if I should say it, but I increased my volume over 100,000, and I'm not saying I was trading 100,000 or my account went up to 100,000, but so you're making significant trades and significant amount of trades to get your volume of trading up to 100,000, and I did that within 2 months.
Yeah. And one thing too, and this is something you understand, some of those trades you want to break even on just so you can get the volume to get to the lower fees to hit like the sweet spot of like trading. So
yeah, and there were 1 or 2 losses in there too. And
Yep.
There's only one person to blame for that loss, Justin.
Yeah, oh man.
No, it was all my fault, and so, but yeah, it depends on how many trades you make.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right, great. Jay, this has been fantastic. We're like 52 minutes into this interview. Everybody, thank you for coming out. Again, feel free to share this video. Just if you share it and you're a member of iCoinPro, tell people to get back with you to get their free training accounts. If you are watching this video and you are enjoying what you're hearing, you want to start your trading journey with iCoinPro, just go ahead and get back with the person that shared this video. They will get you a link and you will be able to, get started, with your free trading account. Learn your first money-making strategy completely for free. Play around with that, and then take your next step from there and get involved in the community. So with that, everybody, have a great rest of the day. Go out, check out those charts, guys. Looks like it's going to be some fun here today. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Justin.